What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to another video. It's time to talk about something that isn't Donkey Kong. Well, sort of, I guess. No originally involved. Today, we're going to be talking about one of my favorite games of all time, Banjo Kazooie. You've heard this conversation endlessly by now, but yes, I really wanted to make a video on this game to celebrate its anniversary that even the devs don't really give a shit about Banjo-Kazooie, so guess most of us fans are gonna have to do it ourselves. I want to make a video talking about this game and how much I really love it. And, who knows if the future ever will who knows in the future if there's ever going to be a new Banjo-Kazooie. Pigs will fly before Banjo ever gets a new game. But, yeah, regardless, enough of that. We could talk all about that later, but let's talk about one of my favorite games of all time. Is it still fun to go back to? Let's talk about it. Alright, so I gotta actually talk about... I can't even start off talking about Banjo-Kazooie without talking about the devs themselves. Rareware! Oh, I love Rareware titles a lot. They made some of the greatest games in the SNES and N64 era. The Donkey Kong Country Trilogy, 1, 2, and 3. They made Diddy Kong Racing, which was Banjo's actual first appearance. They made Conker's Bad Fur Day. I still haven't played the game. I really gotta see what it's all about. They made Donkey Kong 64. It's a good game, fuck you. And of course, the one that comes up the most, Banjo-Kazooie. So, yeah, and funny enough, there was some early footage of it, what it was actually going to be like, which was pretty nice, but the final result was a bear, a laid-back bear, and a sassy kind of bird, Kazooie. Let's talk about it. Grunty is up to her old tricks, and she's aware that Tooty, Banjo's sister, is the most beautiful bear, or I guess creature, on Spiral Mountain. And Gruntilda kidnaps Tooty, and she's about to do some interesting stuff, if you've actually seen the game over screen. Yeah, there's a little hint, I guess. So it's up to Banjo-Kazooie to save Tooty. So yeah, that's the beginning of the game. And what makes this game so charming, you may ask? I may be comparing this to Donkey Kong 64 and Mario 64 pretty often. So be aware. So, anyway, let's just go and start. First off, we have is the introduction. I love the way the characters act. Banjo's more laid back, trying to get things done. Kazooie's just more sassy type character. I honestly just love that. Like, Kazooie just calls characters names at this point. Like, damn, Kazooie, are you okay? But, yeah, just overall, I just really love how they act, honestly. They have a lot of personality. I tend not to use that term often for the internet misinterpreting the term, but that applies here, actually. So, yeah, we have the worlds themselves are so amazing. Like, what more do I need to say about them? We got obviously Spiral Mountain, which is the main hub, I guess you could say. Main first world where you learn all the basics of the game. Jumping, using the Towntron to move faster, swimming, all that stuff. It's really nice. And yeah, I just love the worlds like Mumbo Mountain, Gobi Valley, Mad Monster Mansion, Treasure Trove, my personal favorite area in Banjo-Kazooie. Oh man, oh, Freezeezy Peak. There's so many unique worlds. And the music, Grant Cope, which is the same developers who did, yeah. One of my favorite music composers, for sure. And he also did Donkey Kong 64, which is why the DK rap, was there in Donkey Kong 64 and not in a certain movie I cannot talk about without getting copyright strike. Alright, but yeah, if you're on a... Oh yeah, about to talk about that eventually. But yeah, we'll be comparing this a lot. And I gotta say, the controls of Banjo-Kazooie, a lot of people say they feel rather slow. And honestly, I don't mind the slower gameplay compared to Mario 64. Mario 64, obviously, you can speedrun and stuff. Like, you can do a lot of speedrunning if you move quicker, yeah, but the game has... If there's one thing we can all agree with the N64 titles, They, but most of them have terrible camera controls. So yeah, and I say this as someone who generally loves Mario 64. Not like that, but I generally like the game, honestly. And I know it may be, people may think it's a popular opinion to like Mario 64, though if you look on the internet, I see the opposite. But regardless, it doesn't really matter. It's just my opinion at the end of the day. But oh shit. Okay, so yeah. So yeah, okay, enough comparing, we'll get back to that later. Like, what do you have to do in this game? There are honeycombs you need to grab, for health, by the way. And there's, the main collectibles being the Jiggies. The Jiggies are puzzle pieces that you find throughout the game. Those are the main collectibles of the game that you need to collect or to progress through future worlds. And there's also music notes, which you're gonna need as well to access the doors. This usually will take you to the next part of Gruntilda's lair. So, yeah, you gotta make sure you really look around for Jiggies and music notes. And you got Mumbo tokens, which Mumbo will transform you into different animals in order to actually get certain notes and Jiggies. So, yeah, you really gotta look around and stuff. There are different ways to get Jiggies. Find them in underwater, really go into another room, play a little mini game. You also gotta collect all the Jinjos in order to actually, and if you want to get another Jiggy as well. So yeah, there's a lot to do in Banjo-Kazooie, and I will say that this is a huge improvement over Mario 64 right now. Mario 64, when you collect a star, basically Mario's taken out of the world, you have to go back and redo all that stuff. And Banjo-Kazooie, you get to continue where you left off, no matter what Jiggy you collect. So this is a huge improvement from Mario 64. Donkey Kong 64 does this too. But, I know people are pretty indifferent with that game, so... but I'll still talk about it pretty often. Donkey Kong 64 and Banjo-Kazooie have the same idea of grabbing a collectible and not getting sent out of the world, so... yeah, Mario 64 loses in that situation. But, yeah. I just really love the worlds and stuff, and the music is really good. I don't really got any problems. If there's one thing I'm not a fan of when it comes to Banjo-Kazooie is swimming. So, Mario 64 has an air meter, and Banjo-Kazooie, both of those games have air meters, and obviously, I guess the air meter isn't the worst thing ever. I mean, I played plenty of platforming games with air meters anyway, so I guess that's not really the worst thing ever, but it got really annoying more Banjo-Kazooie compared to Mario 64 at times, but maybe that's because I suck at the game. And, well, with Mario 64, you move a little faster. Banjo's swimming, unless you're pressing the B button to kind of dive a little bit. His swimming controls are kind of slow. But in Donkey Kong 64, holy shit, it feels so much better. And there is no air meter, so, yeah. Guess we know which... I guess Donkey Kong still gets the woo in that situation. The W, I guess. So, yeah. But yeah, there's just so many memorable characters, like Bottles, of course, and yeah, just a lot of memorable characters and stuff, which you can see why so many people really love Banjo-Kazooie. I did grow up with this game, only played it for a bit, however, until I got to play it, like, in 2016, I believe. And yeah, I really love it, honestly. It made me love with just rare titles in general, and, you know, if I played Donkey Kong 64, I might as well try Banjo-Kazooie. So... yeah, I really love Banjo-Kazooie, so yeah, I don't think I have much else to really say about the game outside, like, you know, playtests, areas, music. Yeah, I don't really have much else to really say about Banjo-Kazooie, honestly, that I haven't already touched already. It's just the game is that special to me. Like, it's generally... between this or Paper Mario... I don't know if I love this more than Paper Mario 64, honestly. It's between this or Paper Mario 64 being my favorite N64 games. Donkey Kong 64 would be my favorite N64 game, but... yeah, we're not going to talk about that. Anyway, let's talk about the ending. After finally getting enough collectibles, you get to Grunt, the final battle itself. After being grunty several times in multiple ways, she falls down, creates a hole, and trapped under a boulder. And you save 2D, and yeah, that's Banjo-Kazooie. So yeah, Banjo-Kazooie is easily one of my favorite games of all time. Easily. I don't know if it's my favorite game on the system between that or Paper Mario. And if you want my opinion on Donkey Kong 64 compared to this game, because people do see me as a Donkey Kong guy, but I think people forget. Some people don't know I don't love Banjo, but I think I like Banjo a little more than Donkey Kong 64. There's some things Donkey Kong 64 does more than Banjo, but I love both games, just in different ways. So, it doesn't really matter. If I can say right now, Super Mario 64 is my least favorite of the three. Guess that's my spicy take. Yes, I'd rather play Donkey Kong 64 over Mario 64. Don't care. Donkey Kong's just better. So yeah, don't really have else to say. Banjo-Kazooie is a fantastic game. If you haven't tried already, give it a try. If you love 3D platformers, you definitely should give this one a go. I can totally understand why it's not for everyone, but man, I don't care. It's one of my favorite games, so yeah. I'll definitely make a video on Banjo-Tooie and Banjo and I guess the other Banjo titles that happened. So expect me to make videos on them whenever they come. So yeah. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Well, actually, what are your thoughts on Banjo-Kazooie? I would love to hear you guys. Let me know in the comments below. Later, folks.